purpose of my research project was to take cover crops like crimson clover and abruzzi rye and break them down and incorporate them into soils to determine how they affected soil aggregation or the formation of soil structure. The question that I was really focused on and trying to answer with this project was just, could the cover crops make a noticeable difference in the aggregation of the soils? And yes, they did. The most interesting thing, I think, is that while I thought that originally that the rye would be more effective at increasing aggregate stability just because of the amount of rye and how much more biomass it provided than clover, the clover actually provided a lot more aggregation, a lot more carbohydrates for the soil. I feel like the results of this research could benefit farmers in the future by giving them a optimum ratio to mix rye and clover in the field during their winter cover crop months, so that when the summertime came and they plant their summer crops, the soil will be at its optimum soil quality. In relation to my life goals, I feel that this project really introduced me to soil science, and I really would like to be a scientist throughout my life, and I want to pursue a master's degree, and I feel like this laid the groundwork for me to really get into a master's program and already know what I'm doing and be able to understand the process of science. My attitude towards science and research has changed in the way that I think before I thought a great deal of science was done in the lab, and while there was a lot of lab work with this project, I realized that a lot of science can be done in the field, and that's really what I enjoy doing, and that's the way that I really would like to do science. I would definitely recommend undergraduate research to other students just because it really introduces you to your field. It shows you the possibilities of what you can do out there. It shows you the research fields and allows you to really get into a good program that shows you what you can do or what you may not think you can do on your own. I'm just thankful for the fact that I got this opportunity and I got into this program because it allowed me the opportunity to see what I was capable of. I mean, I didn't think that I could do an entire research project by myself, and granted I had a lot of help, but this was a project that I came up with and did on my own, so it was a lot of fun. I decided to major in soil science because my parents are actually not necessarily scientists, but they're in a field that relates to science, and their jobs are basically indoors, and I've been on to work with them, and I like to go outside and be outside, and soil science was something that kind of intrigued me because soils affect everything. Plants grow in soils, animals eat the plants that grow in the soils, and the soils affect how the plants grow, how everything in the environment works. And I thought that soil science would be a really interesting way to go into science, and I thought that there was a strong chance that I might be able to get into some field work. I think what excites me the most about my major is just the possibilities that are out there. It almost seems limitless when you look at what you can do with a soil science degree. I would definitely recommend my major in soil science to other students just because I think that this is a productive field. It's an expanding field. It's only getting larger. I think coming straight out of high school, you may not realize the type of benefits you can have in a soil science degree, but if you just look at what kind of jobs are out there, there are so many jobs out there, and a lot of them are with the USDA and Natural Resource Conservation Services, and they are always looking for people who are out there with new ideas and new ways to do things, and it's just so exciting and so much fun to be able to be a part of conserving the natural environment and working to promote the benefits and resources by conserving soil and helping with soil science.